Ucceleva per Vishnu Sri Narayana Goswami Maharaj, also to all the Gurukunda Guru Vargas, and all the assembled devotees here headed by the Tridandi Sannyasis Madhava Pranam. So today, by the mercy of Sri Guru Gauranga, went on Parikrama to the place which is not far from Vrindavan and which is actually on the border of Vrindavan and Mathura. Mathura Prat we visited, and also we visited Vatrol, the place of the Yagyapatnis. So Yagyapatnis are the wives of Brahmanas who are performing ritualistic sacrifices out there on the outskirts of Vrindavan. Actually, they were close to Vrindavan, but they were not completely belonging to Vrindavan. That is why Krishna didn't accept them completely, and that's the esoteric meaning of their mood. So when cowherd boys were wandering with Krishna and Balaram, herding cows and cows, they were attacked by a demon of hunger, and they were approaching Krishna and Balaram for that. And Krishna told them, oh, quite close by there are Brahmanas who are most respectful in all the three worlds, actually. There are so many verses glorifying Brahmanas, and there's quite a culture of giving respect, proper respect to Brahmanas. Even Krishna himself was an example of that. Remember the story of Brahman Sudam, etc., and Durvasa. So, so when the boys heard of it, they were very, very happy because they were hoping that Brahmanas would give them whatever they required, because so many foodstuffs were involved in the sacrifice. So when they approached the Brahmanas, they paid no attention, which is strange enough, because they were too ritualistic. They were busy with their sacrifices, and they were saying, oh, these are just mere boys playing around, and especially if it was Krishna and Balaram, they are quite, cranky, and they also sometimes create much trouble, so they were not of very high opinion for Krishna and Balaram, so they paid really no attention. So after that, the boys returned to Krishna and Balaram, and Krishna said, oh, this time you go again and approach the wives of those ritualistic Brahmanas, and you will see they have quite the different moods. So they approached the wives of the ritualistic Brahmanas, and the result was quite the opposite. Those Yagyapatnis, or the wives of the ritualistic Brahmanas, are not only religious, because being religious is not really the symptom of advancement in Krishna consciousness. This is called dharma. So those Brahmanas, they were dharmic. They were into ritualistic sacrifices. But there's something which is much more, which is really devotion to Krishna. So the latter, this devotion to Krishna, the Yajna Brahmanas demonstrated to full extent. And they said, oh, definitely. As soon as they heard the names of Krishna and Balaram, they said, definitely were so willing to give them so much of the foodstuffs involved in the sacrifice. And they approached their husbands, but they had no attention. They really didn't want them. Then they experienced change of heart. Finally, they experienced change of heart, and they said, oh, fire on us, fire on us. Although involving in so much sacrifice, we were not able to respect the very object of our sacrifice, which is Krishna himself. So then, when Krishna and Balaram and all the cowherd boys, they came and they saw Yagyapatnis, and the Yagyapatnis, they saw them, they uttered a very famous shlok, which our Srila Gurudev is quoting. Srila Gurudev is saying that there are three most wonderful and most famous shlokas dedicated to Krishna's beauty. So what Yagyapatnis, or the wives of the ritualistic Brahmanas, quoted, that was the number 2 shlok. So you must have heard the number one shloka, which is Varahapadam Madhavarupu Karnayokarnikaram, uttered by the gopis. How wonderful is Krishna. So this second shloka was Shyamam Hiranyaparidim Manamavyavaram Dhaviko Nagadesham Anupatamse Vinyasta Samadare Nurunanam Karnapala Akolam Kamjanasam. So Krishna was a very, very wonderful blackish complexion, Shyamam Hiranyaparidim Vanamalya, the garland of 5 types of forest flowers was decorating him. Varahavidam, so a wonderful peacock feather was decorating his crown, his blackish curly hair. Varahavidam, etc. So, and the third shloka is from the prayers of Lord Brahma. When Brahma tried to cheat Krishna, but finally Krishna cheated him, and Brahma Vimohana Lila happened. So that is the third shloka. So, in the very similar manner as Krishna was trying to send the gopis home when they came in the middle of the night to see him in the dark forest, then he also tried to send the Yagyapatnis back, and which differs them from the gopis. They agreed, and they went back to his husband. So Srila Gurudev many times was pointing out the difference between the Braja gopis and Yagyapatnis. Why Yagyapatnis they went back home and gopis didn't. I remember last year in Srila Gurudev's very last festival outside of India, which was in Russia, the last mini lecture, mini class of 15 minutes was dedicated to this Lila, Yagyapatni Lila, and especially because of that place is very, very dear to us. So Srila Gurudev mentioned at the end that Yagyapatnis, in the same way as Lakshmi, they couldn't give up their Brahmani Abhiman. And also, they were conscious that they have those husbands, Yajnik Brahmanas, and they have to serve them. And that's one of the reasons why they agreed to go home, taking instruction of Krishna in the ways they understood straight. But the gopis, they were quite different, because the Parakya Bhav is within their hearts. And actually, the husbands they have is just an abhiman in the spiritual world, and it really has no proper meaning. The fact that they are married, it only supports the Parakya Bhav, which is the prevailing factor in the Gopi Bhav. And the other thing why the gopis they didn't stay with Krishna is that their mood is mixed. It differs from Braj, the proper Braj, the Parakya Bhav of Braj, because they're on the outskirts of Vrindavan. They are half in Mathura. So, having had darshan in that place, we were praying from the depth of our hearts that the Gopi Bhav would appear in our hearts. And also, we're learning from the Yajnik Brahmins because their devotion was so deep, actually. Many, many times, devotees live in family life, and their husbands, the ladies may have husbands who may be religious and may belong to certain tradition even, but they don't support their Krishna consciousness. They don't understand the importance of ongoing devotion to Krishna. They always have mixed moods, they always have some materialistic motives. And this Leela can teach so much us in our path of pure devotion to Krishna. Because in the beginning our devotion is not very pure actually. It's karma mishra, jnana mishra, yoga mishra. Mostly karma mishra. Because we live in the world, many of us, we have jobs, we have different kinds of attachment, different kinds of karma. But this Leela of Yagyapatnis gives us the example of complete devotion to Krishna, complete Sharanagati, complete mood of Swaha. Yeah? So although the Brahmanas were doing Swaha, they were casting grains, they were pouring ghee into the fire, the devotion wasn't complete. So devotees of Krishna always remember this lila in order to support their one-pointedness in Krishna seva. So that is the point, main point of our meditation on Bhakti Road. So Maharaj wants me to spend some 5 or 7 minutes to speak on Mahaprabhu in Vrindavan. So in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnas Kaviraj Goswami is relating wonderful pastime of Mahaprabhu going to Vrindavan. So actually the desire of Mahaprabhu was to come to Vrindavan since he took sannyas. Actually he wanted to come to Vrindavan once, but when he has last darshan of Navadik Vasis in Bhattacharya's abode in Shantapur, his mother was requesting him, please don't go to Vrindavan because I want you to stay closer to me. And he chose Jagannath Puri as his abode. In fact, after receiving sannyas from Keshava Bharati, Mahaprabhu was directing his way towards Vrindavan, but when the Shivak, the voice from the sky told him, wait, there is something you have to perform in Navadvip and different other places. So Mahaprabhu didn't go to Vrindavan that time. And while staying in Jagannath Puri, while performing Rathayatra pastimes and many different other pastimes with his devotees, Mahaprabhu has decided to go to Vrindavan. And on the way, he visited several places, one of which, Ramakeri, is well known to us because that was the abode of Srila Rupa and Sanatana. So Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis, they were known at that time as Vabhirkas and Sakara Malik. So Mahaprabhu met them and gave them names Rupa and Sanatana. So Srila Sanatana Goswami requested Mahaprabhu, my Lord, you're going with such a crowd of people, and that's not the proper way to go to Vrindavan with such a crowd. So Mahaprabhu, on the request of Sanatana, and there were some other reasons also, he returned to Jagannath Puri for some time. But then he again started towards Vrindavan incognito, at that time having only one Brahman called Balabhadra Bhattacharya as his companion. And slowly he was approaching Vrindavan, stopping on the way in different places. So the closer Mahaprabhu was approaching Vrindavan, the deeper his power was becoming. And finally he reached Mathura. In Mathura, he saw the initial deity of Keshava, Adi Keshava. And in the temple of Adi Keshava, he met one Brahmana from Sanadiya dynasty. So further on, he was going with Balabhadra Bhattacharya and Sanadiya Brahman. And Sanadiya Brahman was very, very exalted. And Mahaprabhu noticed one very special feature in him. Mahaprabhu at once noticed some special features of the Brahman, and he said, "Oh Brahman, do you have any connection with Madhavendra Puri?" And Brahman said, "Yeah, in fact Madhavendra Puri was staying in my house. I even served him lunch one time long ago." So since that, the ecstatic prem, the ecstatic mood of Sri Madhavendra Puri entered his heart, so Mahaprabhu was very, very happy and blessing with Brahman. In fact, with one meeting, so, in fact, one meeting with a pure devotee gives us very, very wonderful impressions. So, Madhavendra Puri was the first sprout of Prem, and his meeting with Mahaprabhu was so ecstatic. So, Sanadiya Brahman showed Mahaprabhu around. He showed him all the 24 ghats on the bank of Mathura. And Srila Kaviraj Goswami said that when Mahaprabhu was in Vrindavan, his mood, exalted mood, was 100 times more, and 1,000 times more. And then in Vrindavan, when he entered Vrindavan, it became a lakh more, 100,000 times more and deeper. So when Mahaprabhu entered Vrindavan, his Krishnatva or his features of Krishna started manifest. And that was quite dangerous, because that wasn't the proper mood Mahaprabhu wanted to cultivate. He was desirous to play Srimati Radhika's role, and in Vrindavan it was not quite possible. So that is why, while going through the forest of Vrindavan, he remembered Krishna, and all the residents of Vrindavan immediately recognized Krishna in Mahaprabhu. So the cows started mooing very loudly. They were coming towards Mahaprabhu and licking his small body. And the creepers of Vrindavan became very jubilant and were shedding tears in the form of the honey. And the tree branches and creepers fell at the feet of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu began to embrace every tree and began to offer, and so they began to offer twigs and creepers in the way of obeisances and pranam. Mahaprabhu's body was so restless and trembling, jubilation, and great joy manifested in his heart, and he was exclaiming, "Chant Krishna! Chant Krishna!" So every living entity, both moving and non-moving, they started chanting. So then all moving and non-moving living entities were vibrating the holy name. Mahaprabhu clasped the necks of the deer and began to cry, and male and female parrots, they started conversing, and we were hearing that conversation yesterday evening when, upon the return from Bahulavan, the Vaishnavas assembled here to glorify Bahulavan. Well, visiting Bahulavan earlier, which would have time, because now the road is quite bad, and it's a big amount of devotees, it's quite impossible to get there. So in Bahulavan, the conversation between Shukra and Sari happened. This very famous episode is described in Govinda Vilamrita of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So Shukra, male parrot, is always glorifying Krishna, and the Sari, female parrot, is always glorifying Srimati Radhika. That's the contrary mood towards Krishna's glory. So Shukra said, Krishna is attractive to all the universe because his beauty astounds the goddess of fortune. And Govardhan is just a plaything, it's just like a ball in his mighty hand. So he is the most charming Lord of all worlds. And female parrot Sari answered, "Oh, it's all because of Srimati Radhika's affection and her exquisite beauty and good behavior that she is able to attract the mad elephant of Krishna, who is attracting all the universe." And then male parrot Shuk said, "Oh, Krishna is Madan Mohan, and his flute enchants the minds of all the ladies of the universe." Really, we know Krishna is Madan Mohan. That's why we go to the temple of Madan Mohan, and we're praying to Madan Mohan Krishna to attract our minds. But female parrot said, only when Krishna was Srimati Radhika, he is Madan Mohan really. Because Srimati Radhika, who is she? She's Madan Mohan Mohini. She is attracting even the attractor of Cupid. So, while meditating on our Kamagayatri, we're trying to deeply concentrate on this tattva. So, when Krishna is alone, he himself enchanted with erotic feelings, female parrot continued, even though he enchants the whole universe. And then Shukra and Sari flew into the branch, and Mahaprabhu was observing the dancing. And then he fell to the ground in ecstatic love. The Brahmana engaged Baladev with the chariot, sprinkled water on Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu was back in consciousness and began rolling on the ground again. And Mahaprabhu stood up and said, "Chant! Chant!" And he began to dance. And then Mahaprabhu was traveling in all the forests of Vrindavan, and finally he went to one place which was called an Harit Gram. And you know that place is? Banks of Radhakunda, Shyama Kunda. So Kaviraj Goswami is quoting from Padma Purana, "Radha Priya Vishnu Stasya Kundam Priyamtata Sarvagopisha Sarvaikat Vishnu Atyanta Valava." In the same way as Srimati Radhika is so dear to Krishna, her Kund, Radha Kund, is exclusively dear to him. To that point that he's even engaging in bhajan of Srimati Radhika on the banks of Radha. And every twig, every creeper, every leaf of the tree is reminding him of Srimati Radhika. In fact, Krishna is the disciple of Srimati Radhika. So on the back of Radha Kund, Krishna is taking Srimati Radhika's instruction how to dance. So Mahaprabhu asked the local villagers, "Oh, do you know where Radha Kunda and Shyama Kunda are?" And they said, "Oh, we don't know really, but there are two lakes here, two small ponds, which are called Gauriket and Krishnaket, Shyamakhet. So actually, Mahaprabhu once understood that was Gauriket was Radha Kunda and Shyamakhet was Krishna Kunda or Shyama Kunda. So immediately he took bath in the Radha Kunda, which was to the great surprise of the villagers, because they couldn't conceive that that was really Radha Kunda. So many other places of Raja discovered by Srila Rupa Sanatana and different other acharyas, but Mahaprabhu had to come to Braj himself to discover Radha Kunda. And our Gurudev was coming to Radha Kunda, and last time I think it was 2006, and he was quoting from Shiva, Raghunath Das Goswami, Pravavasmi, Najivani Tvayadina, Divigaya Radha Kunda. Remember how in 2001 Shiva Gurudev came there, and he was crying. Just when he started speaking, tears came out of his eyes. And then Mahaprabhu visited Govardhan. In Govardhan, he remembered the shloka. So Govardhan is so dear to Mahaprabhu. Govardhan has very complete, very deep tattva. Actually, it's Bhagavan and Haridasa Varya also. Haridasa Varya, the best of Haridas. And in this shlok, the gopis are glorifying So Mahaprabhu took one Govardhana Shiva and clasped with his both hands and pressed to his chest, to his head, to his heart, and was crying and crying. So, in this way, Mahaprabhu visited so many places in Vrindavan, but that wasn't really his plan. That's why, very, very quickly, the Brahmana and Balabhadra Bhattacharya took him back to Prayag and Varanasi, where he met Sri Rupa and Sanatana. So, Shri Vrindavan Mahaprabhu ki jai.
इस मूर्ति को आज उन्होंने लाया है बालकृष्ण कठोर के लिए उनके सेंटर में। वे ले जाएंगे आज, तो सबको पसंद है, ठीक है? उन्होंने कहा अभी आपको मालूम नहीं आएगा in Birmingham Temple in Central. So now, I would want to say something.
How did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come to Vrindavan? He saying Patra Patram Vicharanam Vikrute. He is not saying that anyone is an object of his mercy or not an object of his mercy. Rather, he is giving mercy to everyone in accordance with their either with their previous good activities, blessing them and giving them cause of mercy. Whatever, he is not saying that one person is to be honored or another person is not to be honored. This way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is most merciful of all avatars. Certain people, they consider so many philosophers, great thinkers, philanthropists to be great and honorable, that they have given so much to human society in the form of charity, welfare work, etc. However, such activities are simply transitory, trivial. In the long run, Brother Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave this joya, that Chaitanya Sri Krishna Chagraj Goswami, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Doya, Kura Avinchar, Vichar Korile, Chitte Pavat Chamatkar, that please examine the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you do so, then you'll find in your mind great astonishment. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he created this universal love. So that while humanity, like Plato, Socrates, and so on, and in recent years, so many thinkers have thought about love and universal harmony. However, this is service beyond the bodily platform, whereas Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave that love which is transcends all bodily designation. We would become so fortunate if we accept the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he's not saying anyone is being special. This is there are so many different designations in the Varnashram system. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. And although in one sense there's a superiority or inferiority amongst them, however, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's vision was that he saw everyone, even the tigers and snakes, the Sharikanda forest, who are by nature very vicious and mean. He gave them his love, he gave pain to them, which is Sita. Simply, his offering in this way is really the panacea for humanity at large, if we can simply take to it. Not that we should think that anyone else can take to it in humanity, but we can actually accept this blessed gift of Krishna praying. Then our lives are perfect. However, if we have some sectarian designation, in the sense of considering ourselves any bodily designation, like a sannyasi or a grihastha, vanashasta, brahmachari, and so on, to think that we have any relation to these designations other than the perfunctory situation, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Naham Vipro Nachar Naraskinam Vakshanishidunaham Varnina Sarvina Patirvana Stoyatela Kintu Protan Nikila Parama Ananda Purnam Tapte Sopi Bharta Padikam Mayor Dasa Dasa Amidasa Jivera Sarupoy Krishna Nikadas Krishna Takashta Veda Veda Prakash. That actually we're none of these different designations. If we become attached to them, these borrowed truths, simply we consider that we are in one step of 8 million Charasi Yoni, 8,400,000 seasons of life. And our next step, we have no idea. According to our Purva Karma, we may accept some inauspicious body. However, just like my Rishi Guru, Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he said that I've been given this name, Bhaktivedanta. I know Bhakti and the Vedanta. But somebody has given this opportunity to me. So let me dance if you will. Let me experience all the karma which is called, which is due to my previous activities. It helps me have this tiny remembrance of myself as Gopi Bhartu Padikamayor Dasa Dasa Anudasa. In this way, you should take this opportunity to remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his Leela, his pastimes, his entourage. We can remember these pastimes. And as Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, that the day will come when people will learn Bengali, just to relish the nectar of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We can remember to read this book and taste the pastimes and the nectar which is contained within it. Then our life will always be increasingly new and newer. This taste is available for all. It's not for any sectarian designation. However, even so, a person may have not ability, apparently, to remember shlokas and so on. Although it said that for one who takes the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Guru and Shri Madhav, then the blind can see the stars in the sky, the dumb speak eloquent poetry. We have this conviction, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can make Gatadakana Patiyasi, that those things which are apparently impossible, possible. And those persons, like Kushta Vipra, Vasudev Gatra, he was feeling so desperate and feeling himself very insignificant as when he heard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had left Kurmakshetra, and he felt so unhappy that because he had put the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given his mercy. So Mahaprabhu instantly appeared for him and gave him the nectar of embrace, Vasudeva Amrita Pada. And this way, anyone in any position, wherever they may be, Mahaprabhu, he's not considering that he's special. Because he's always Krishna, he's thinking that I am Radha Dasi. I am a servant and a servant and a servant 1,000 times removed. But he will give when one feels themselves meek and humble. The more one becomes meek and humble, as Jesus in a different disciplic succession, said that the last shall be first and the first last. Those who are feeling themselves very great and very wonderful, then they become disqualified by them, and they become unable to get the mercy. But those who feel themselves very insignificant and weak, like Narottam Das Thakur expressed, that my name is first because I am Patita Pavan. You have come to save the most fallen, and therefore I am the most fallen. My claim for your mercy is first. So if we can somehow pray for this humility, which will give us the possibility of chanting Harinam and giving ourselves weak and humble, then we get Mahaprabhu's name. Thank you. Jai Ranta
This